All right, Zack here. Got my Bobby right here. Say what's up.
Hi, I'm Bobby, aka Psychosis to some people.
Yeah, check him out, King of the Dot. So anyway,
Don't
we're gonna
look
be.
me up.
Yeah, don't look him up. He fucking sucks.
I do.
So anyway, today we're gonna be reviewing the Green Inferno. It's Eli Roth's latest film since 2007 when he dropped Hostel 2. It's pretty much his homage to this film right here. Without the glare. There we go, something like that. It's called Cannibal Holocaust. It's from the 80s. Pretty fucked up film, but tonight we're gonna be discussing his rendition of just that.
It's a really rare movie, by the way. You guys should take notes.
Yeah, I mean, check it out. It's worth watching if you pretty much want a good intro to the darker side of cinema and shit like that. But if you want a new age rendition of it, this is pretty much what is just that. So, Bobby, what'd you think?
Well, I thought it was the most brilliant film of all time. I thought that this movie was clearly a 10 out of 10. And Ebert and Roper, they could honestly put their thumbs like way up in their ass over this film. Okay, honestly, this film sucks so
Okay,
bad.
cut the shit. What do we think it is?
This was so fucking bad.
It was fucking bad.
This film was so fucking bad. And honestly, it got so corny at points where, like, parts where it's supposed to be, like, horrific and tragic, I was laughing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it just got so fucking corny at some points. You kind of, I think I pulled out my phone and actually started looking at when they, I started texting people.
Yeah.
And, like, just looking at my phone at, like, notifications that I know aren't for me. And I'm just like, let's see what's going on. Because I swear to God, the movie was just that bad.
That's when you know it's shitty, when you start, like, researching, like, how Jameson whiskey was founded and shit like that, when you're watching a movie.
I think I was researching when George Washington crossed the Delaware.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah, but, okay, anyways, all bullshit aside momentarily, the film's essentially about a bunch of college activists who want to head to Peru to do some good, hell a bunch of forests being bulldozed down and shit like that. And essentially it's a film about how a bullshit sense of that does more harm than good. And they venture out there, and this is no spoilers involved, they essentially get taken hostage and held captive by a group of cannibals. And the whole marketing point of this film was, watch them get butchered, watch them get torn apart. You're going to see some fucked up shit, essentially, much like the film I mentioned earlier, because he was building it up to be just like that. And I'm, of course, referring to Eli Roth. And when it came to the violence, I mean, what did you think on it?
Okay.
Honestly, no, all bullshit aside, I mean, what'd you really think?
Okay, it started out. Can we give spoilers in this or?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some minor spoilers throughout this. We'll keep it minimal, but I mean,
All right,
it's a very simple fucking premise.
Spoiler alert: the black guy dies. So
yeah, first, by the way.
So,
yeah.
well, I mean, there was that one.
Okay, that's true. Okay, there was a couple, but
it wasn't like yeah. Okay.
But the most brutal
there was
one.
there was no character development for the ones that died first. But
there wasn't really
the
any
first
whatsoever.
character development, dude that dies is the black dude. So spoiler alert.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
it sucks because he's like the nicest guy in the fucking movie.
Sweetest guy ever.
Like this guy is like a dandelion wrapped in fucking like silk. This guy,
pretty much.
I think someone said that before. Whatever.
Yeah. Either way.
I think as far as like the gore went, it really started off on a good foot. It like right off the bat, you're just like, holy shit, these people are dying in really pretty creative ways, and it's just like it's getting more and more brutal, and you're just kind of like, well, at the first couple kills, I'm just like, holy shit, did you see that? You know what I mean? And it's hard for me not to look at it. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then it just really took a giant nosedive into bullshit right after that.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean,
and nothing was correct. Like when this one dude dies, spoiler alert. When this one dude is
there's spoilers. There's fucking spoilers.
When
okay.
This one dude is like tied to the stake, and they're like breaking his bones in his body with this stupid club that it's like a wiffle bat. Like there's no way, there's no fucking way that this guy's bones should have been broken.
It didn't look like
from this fucking thing.
Fair enough.
And then the cheesiest CGI ants I've ever seen in my life cover this guy's body.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be eating him alive, and he's like, it really looked like one of those like sci-fi channel shows, like with like what is it like Sharknado and shit like that.
Something along the lines of
Piranha
that.
Kraken mix thing, whatever the fuck it is. And it was just so bad. It looked like they made it on like a home like laptop, just like with like very cheesy graphics.
Right. And it sucks because I watched the making of a $6 million budget. I mean that's a lot to work with,
Yeah.
And essentially when you're paying the tribes people fucking jack shit, and you don't have a whole lot to really work with besides that. I mean the environment's completely at your disposal. All you really need to work with is getting to the location and focusing strictly on the special effects.
So,
and it's kind of a bait and switch because you get lured in with such a great I don't want to say necessarily innovative concept, but it's enough to get you in the theater and put our asses in the seats.
It really like attracted me. Like when I heard it, I'm like, okay, this could be really fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But then you get in there and it's a very fucking slow build up.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm sorry, man. Though that 45, 50 some odd minutes felt like a couple fucking hours. I felt like I watched like The Godfather Part 3 or some shit by the time I got there. I was just fucking like, God damn, let's go. So you finally get there, and the intro kill, the first legitimate kill, was very prime. I thought it absolutely delivered, and I thought we were in to see some pretty gratuitous shit, because if we would have went, we would have laughed our ass off at a couple people being hacked up. That's all I really expected, but you kind of get lured in and you get ready and you're at the edge of your seat like, fuck yeah, what's next? And then they just kind of take it away from you.
Well, that's what I was saying, like with the kill on the pike, or not on the pike,
but
on the stick. The dude's covered in these like fake CGI ants. Now here's where it's not like, okay, I understand it's a movie, you have to try to like, you know, stretch your belief system like a little bit.
You gotta suspend it a bit.
Yeah, I get that. But this was just so bad. They tied this dude to the stake or whatever, and they have all these ants just coat this guy like fire ants, whatever the fuck.
But like you said, it was fucking corny. I mean,
it was super corny.
They didn't even have the balls to show the ants go in the guy's mouth.
Of course not. No,
his eyes, nothing. I mean,
And they filmed this guy screaming, and they go, okay, we're just gonna put some computer ants on your fucking face. Anyways, and here's where it's even less realistic. Anytime you see ants eating, like, say, for example, a bug or a rat or even a human being, whatever, nothing is left, but the bones of whatever animal they eat. Right. This fucking guy just had a couple scabs on his fucking forehead.
If that.
Like, that was it. Like, he had a couple scabs on his forehead, and he's like, kill me. I'm like,
and he's like begging for death.
I'm like, you got the weakest treatment out of the entire movie. Like, the entire
you got fuckers getting their eyes gouged out, tongue cut off. Getting delimbed.
Dude,
fucking
the stick through the pilot's face or whatever the fuck is spoiler, whatever. Fuck you.
There's spoiler. Yeah, if you haven't caught it by now, we're kind of spoiling.
We're trying to get you to not see this fucking movie if you haven't gotten it already.
Pretty much.
I mean, obviously, watch it if you want to. You're gonna come to the same conclusion we are, unless you're really one of those people who just doesn't watch gory movies. Then you're gonna probably think this is awesome. I don't know. But I thought it sucked.
But I promise the way we're telling you this is more entertaining than the movie itself. So anyway, let's talk about a few other things.
Let's talk about Fetty Wap's mom being the tribe fucking woman.
Captain Jack Sparrow?
Oh my god!
Yeah, dude. I'm sure you've seen a couple stills on that motherfucker. I mean,
that was so bad.
Again, the thing is, the tribe even had the creep factor going for it, and the higher ups or the higher echelon tribes people or whatever the fuck you can consider them. I mean, they look genuinely creepy. They felt eerie, but again, when you don't have anything going for it, and the thing is, the film, it didn't know how to properly ramp up the tension, because once you started feeling any semblance of unease, it kind of takes it away from you with this kind of bullshit comedic relief to where you're kind of just like...
And even the comedic relief was cheesy.
It was whack. There's this one part, which we're going to talk about right now. You know what part I'm getting at. So essentially...
the only funny part.
The really funny part. Yeah. That was actually funny, but unintentionally, I guess you could say. So essentially, someone dies, and every time someone dies, they're basically cooking the motherfuckers, right? They're steaming them up and all that, like put them in the huts and shit, and they're like slow roasting them for an extended period of time.
They put them in the smoker for a bit.
Yeah, they put them in the smoker. Yeah. So anyway, fucking one of these fuckers died, and one of the dudes, like any other group of assholes getting caught in a bad situation, one's the stoner, of course. So he has a little bit of pot like in his like sock or some shit. So he's like, I got an idea. So he like crams the pot down like the dead bitch's throat and like shoves it down there with, like he like crams it down there with like a fucking like branch.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, they like grab the bitch to go cook her up. So then you see the smoke kind of coming out, and you start seeing that like, oh, the tribes people are getting stoned, and then they all start like just walking around like, oh, we're stoned, and then as if we're too stupid to understand the reference, they go, oh my god, they're high, and they're just so like pathetically pointed out.
I just want to point out one thing.
Yeah, no, please. Before we get to the...
If you've ever smoked weed in your entire fucking life, if you see the amount that they put in this fucking body,
it was maybe a dub.
No, it's a little more dub. It's like close to an eighth. But,
okay,
but an eighth is not enough to get 40 or 50.
You got your thumb on the scale.
It's like 40 or 50 fucking people high. Okay,
Yeah.
anyone can tell you that.
Yeah.
It's just like, and keep in mind when it's not like your whole head is in the fucking oven at the same. It's like dissipating in the fucking air. There's no way that, like, I'm sorry, this goes back to not being realistic enough for me. I'm sorry. And by the way, if you're ever trapped in the Amazon,
the pod aspect is what got you, dude.
Sorry.
You couldn't take the film out of it. That's what made you not sold anymore.
If you're ever stuck in the Amazon and you get like taken in by a cannibalistic tribe, just remember that you always need a stoner friend with you in case this happens, because they are always going to have pot on them to get the entire tribe high.
And they're always so ingenious.
Exactly.
I would have never thought.
Yeah, I never.
I mean, you've been blazing for a minute. I mean, I don't even necessarily do. When both our heads together, I don't think it would have even crossed our fucking mind.
A cool minute, a lukewarm hour, whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it.
I've been smoking long enough to know that this is horse shit.
Pretty much. So anyway, back to the stoner dude. So
Sorry,
he basically, yeah.
By the way, stoner dude is the kid from Spy Kids or whatever. The ginger fuck from Spy Kids.
I know we're all over the place right now.
God, sorry.
No, it was
that bad.
I remember you look over like, is that the fucking guy from Spy Kids? I'm like, it is. What the fuck? So anyway, so he's able to like kind of weasel his way out, and then like a couple like trans people walk up to him and like kind of get a hold of him, and they're all laughing, and then they just give a look. It's like goes, oh no, and he looks dead in the camera. And goes, they've got the munchies, and they start just
eating them. Like
it was so fucking corny.
Okay. Dude, it was just really bad all around. Like, there's so many cringeworthy parts in this movie. The one that really made me laugh though is when the chick, like, should I even spoil it?
We've already fucking.
All right.
This
chick gets a fucking arrow through the neck. Put it this way: everyone else that crashes in the plane gets a dart that puts them to sleep. And this chick is unlucky enough
spear
to
the neck.
be the only one who gets an arrow or spear or whatever through the fucking neck. And then, as if that's not bad enough, her boyfriend looks at her as she's bleeding to death. He's like, "It's gonna be okay." And before he finishes okay, fucking another arrow goes right through her fucking forehead.
That was actually funny.
I fucking laughed. So the entire theater fucking laughed. Like it was. That's how corny this movie is.
But that was scary. Like a legitimately funny laugh. But the thing is, it was peppered with so much like unintentional humor. And like it was so contrived, and it's just such a damn shame because I'm really gonna look at this as just a lost opportunity. I mean, it was really a letdown.
It was bad.
And I'm gonna go ahead and publicly declare I truly believe that Eli Roth he just doesn't deliver, and he hasn't really ever, to be honest. I mean, Cabin Fever, big fucking deal. Hostel, softcore porn up until the last 30, 35 some odd minutes. Hostel 2, it wasn't good. I mean,
Hostel 2 sucked.
It wasn't good, and I mean, and that's just me. I'm trying to be conservative about all this, but I mean, at the same time, the guy he doesn't know how to fucking deliver, and he markets this as the end all be all, and then he's paying homage to the movie I mentioned earlier, and it's nowhere near that. So, what are your closing thoughts on the movie? I mean, give an overall, just fucking statement of your thoughts on it. Positives, negatives, closing thoughts.
The only positive thing to this movie would be if you didn't see it. And you just didn't spend your money on it. Maybe you could look it up on the internet and just bootleg it, because that's the only fucking way.
Honestly, I'm sure that'll be available
probably in like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but
seriously,
honestly, the movie overall was just fucking terrible. It was so okay. It had a really really good fucking kill, and then surrounded by that one good kill in the entire movie, which by the way took a fucking hour to get to almost. It was like watching the fucking Godzilla remake that fucking just came out a couple years ago or whatever.
A lot of preparation, no
It's just
man.
like all lead up, and all of a sudden like Godzilla comes in like an hour into the fucking movie. You're like, oh, this is gonna be great now, and it fucking minutes. Sucked.
And it's
okay. So that's
anyway. We're not talking about Godzilla.
No, yeah, same idea though. Mm-hmm. It took forever to get to, but then once it got to it, it had a really fucking great start. Once you like in terms of like an hour into it, it's really bad that the movie had to start an hour into it. Anyways. It had a really good start with the first kill, and you're like, holy fuck, this can only get better. And it took the biggest nosedive ever. It might as well have been a plane going through the Bermuda Triangle. It just nosedove all the way to the abyss, and this shit sucked ass. So,
what's your overall rating, you'd say?
Oh, I said it was fucking. I gave it an F. If we're going on a grade scale,
you're gonna give it an F.
Oh,
1 to 10.
That shit was fucking horrible. I'll never see that shit again.
1 to 10. What would you say?
1 to 10.
People rate shit differently.
I would probably give it like a 2, maybe a 3, because that one kill was so fucking gnarly. Like it was fucking really good.
It was pretty good.
And there was like a couple parts where I'm like, all right, that is a really like dope way to kill somebody.
But the acting was shit. The storyline, look at the story, it could have been really good, and they fucked it up. So that's why I'm taking the grade down.
So overall, you're gonna knock it to an F. Just call it around 3 out of 10.
It's an F for sure. If it weren't, it would be repeating. It would be repeating whatever grade.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of much along the same where you are. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Green Inferno a D-. I'm not quite sold that it's F material, but he's absolutely not wrong about any of what he said. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it a D-. I mean, it's not quite an F, but it just didn't simply live up on the promises that it offered. The acting was absolute dog shit. It was a very simple fucking premise. Take a group of unlikable douchebags, which is all they were. These new age politically correct cocksuckers, lure them in somehow, I don't care how the fuck you do it, to this location and hack them to bits and fucking eat them. It is very fucking simple. And when it's being marketed as such a thing and when it's being promoted as such, I expect just that. I don't expect it to be anywhere near.
It's like very hard to fuck that up. And they fucked it up.
Yeah, in Eli Roth, it's just he's a letdown. And honest, I went into this, and you can vouch with every intention to like this movie. And we've been rambling, obviously, for, a little over 16 minutes now, but I'm just gonna wrap this up for you. The Green Inferno simply does not deliver. If you're looking for that new movie that is gonna just propel its new heights and really just give that horror genre the shot in the arm that it needs, when it's all pretty much polluted with these paranormal fuckboy ass movies, this is not the movie, and it never will be. And I don't care how much you want to sit here and convince it is. It's like sitting here saying grass is red and the sky's fucking purple, whatever the fuck. You get my point. So anyway, I would go and save your money, and the only way I would ever recommend you do watch this is if maybe you got a little buzz going with your girl, your guy, whatever the fuck,
You're in the middle of Netflix and chill, right?
Yeah, you're busting out some Netflix and chill.
And you want your girl to be kind of like terrified a little bit, but like with a little bit of giggle because it's kind of corny. That's the movie.
But at the same time, you have the risk of cock blocking the fuck out of yourself or twat swatting yourself because this movie is boring and it gets a slight little. It is lame, little bit of eventfulness, and then it just fucking, like you said, it flatlines, it nosedives. This movie fucking sucks. This is D- to D territory at best, if not an F. But I'll give it a little bit of credit because there are some parts of this movie you can tell legitimately wanted to make an effort, but Eli Roth pussed out. So
can I do a side note?
Please.
Side note, I went on Twitter and like literally before, like while the credits were rolling, I've never done this in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
And this was that's how bad this movie was. I went on Twitter, tagged Eli Roth in the Twitter post, told him how much the movie fucking sucked. Never done that ever. That's how bad this movie was. I literally immediately just went on Twitter, tagged him in it, and told him that he's a fucking asshole. I was just so fucking. I was that pissed about this fucking movie. So you could take that however you want. You could be like, oh, well, it's not that dramatic. It's not that dramatic, but I just really was just like, I was that disappointed in this fucking movie that I just felt like, hey, I'm going to tell this guy that he's a bad human being. So,
and yeah, I went from actually semi-respecting him to going, you know what, this guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, and if it makes him feel, I went on Twitter and I tweeted him too.
Like,
yeah, I took it personally.
Dude.
I took it actually fucking personally. Like, he revoked my 401k or something. He took away my retirement, and I felt like he personally betrayed me. So anyway, thanks for listening to the ramble. You heard it here first. F. I'm gonna go with a fucking D-. Save your fucking money, guys, and thanks for watching. Well, fucking A.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.